If you're like me, you have tons and tons of fabrics. And so if that's the case, it's time to perhaps challenge yourself to a scrap quilt. But let me warn you, scrap quilts are not for the faint-hearted. Now, many of my quilts are scrappy in nature, but there is a rhyme or reason on how they come together. For instance, if you've got a focus fabric, that's your guide, or if you're working with a holiday, that's your guide. But when I talk about scrap quilts, what I'm thinking is that you make one block and it's cute, you put it on the wall, and then you make another block, it's cute, and then you put it on the wall. You do not care what you've made before. You just keep making each block as its own independent marcher. Then what you need to do, well, let's take a look at this postage stamp basket quilt, because this is my very first scrap quilt. It was started at Stitches and Stuffings in Naperville, Illinois, and actually I was teaching a STARS class, but I knew that I was going to be writing my first book, Quilts for Fabric Lovers, and I knew I wanted to do a basket quilt in it. And so I scrounged fabric off of people. This particular little basket finishes at 4.5 inches, and all you need are 2 pieces of fabric that are 5 by 7 inches for each basket. So maybe, somebody suggested on the forum that I do baskets, and maybe I will do that next. I don't know, or at least show you how to do that basket because it's so darn cute and it's easy. Anyways, I would make these so what I did was I said, I will teach, even though it's a STARS class, I will teach you how to do this adorable basket if I can scrounge off of you paired pieces of fabric that were 5 by 7 inches, and as you can see, the rest is history. So this is the quilt finished, and what is so interesting is as I put the baskets up, I didn't really care about what the last basket was till the quilt was about 90% completed. Then I started arranging it by value, and it took a long time to get a setting that I liked, and as you can see, it kind of radiates out light from the center, more dark to the outside. And then at 90%, I looked at it and I said, okay, what colors do I see over and over and over? And beige and blue is what seemed to pop to mind. And so you can see on the vertical edges, I'm not talking the 9 patches, I put beige and blue to kind of pull the whole thing together. But more importantly, look at the 4 corners. And again, I'm not talking the 9 patches. The 9 patches are essentially a border. In the 4 corners of the quilt, you can see you have very high contrast blocks. And that holds the whole thing together. Scrap quilts are very challenging, but I think that if you just start with simple small blocks and try playing this way, you will have a whole lot of fun.